little fox.
The renewable energy debate. Quincy and Becca sat in the dark classroom, fanning themselves. The other students had all gone home because of the blackout, but Becca's parents couldn't pick her up early. Quincy had forgotten his house key, so he was stuck at school too, until his mom came. Mrs. DeWitt sat by the window grading papers.
At least we got to skip the debates today,
Quincy said.
Don't worry.
Mrs. DeWitt said with a smile.
We'll hold the debates tomorrow.
I like to debate,
Becca said.
but it's so hard to prepare when we don't know the topic ahead of time.
Mrs. DeWitt nodded.
It is, but I want you to think of strong arguments on the spot. Everyone has opinions. People should know how to support their opinions.
I definitely have an opinion about this blackout.
Quincy groaned.
Being without power is boring and hot.
The utility company asked residents to conserve energy during the heat wave so we wouldn't have a blackout.
Mrs. DeWitt said.
But people must be using more power than the system can handle.
Becca had been studying renewable energy in science. She remembered something that she had read.
People use less household electricity now than they did 10 years ago. Appliances and technology are more energy efficient.
Oh,
Mrs. DeWitt said.
interesting.
Well, I think we need more power plants to produce more energy.
Quincy burst out.
The problem is, most power plants burn fossil fuels like coal, oil, or natural gas. And that's bad for the environment.
So what's the solution?
Mrs. DeWitt asked.
More people should use solar power.
Becca declared.
It's clean, renewable energy. In fact, enough solar energy hits Earth in 1 hour to provide all the power we need for a year. With solar, families could cover all their household electricity needs.
Solar panels are expensive, and so is installing them.
Quincy pointed out.
Plus, the panels aren't efficient. Only some of the sun's energy that hits them gets converted into electricity.
What's your idea, Quincy?
Mrs. DeWitt asked. Quincy thought for a moment.
Wind and water are renewable sources of energy, unlike fossil fuels. And they don't produce air pollution. We could build more wind turbines and dams.
Becca shook her head.
Dams take up a lot of space and disrupt the environment. Even wind farms disturb the land's surface. These forms of power can only be built in places with water or wind.
She grinned.
Solar panels don't disrupt the environment, and they can be installed anywhere the sun shines, like on people's roofs.
True, but people need a lot of panels to cover their entire usage. They also need a battery system to store energy for when the sun isn't shining,
Quincy said.
Dams and wind farms can produce larger amounts of electricity than solar.
I see your point.
Becca said.
But if more people use solar, we could reduce our need for big power plants.
Wouldn't it be better to wait until costs go down and the technology is more efficient?
Quincy asked.
Nope. We need more solar power now.
Becca said.
The more people use solar, the more costs will go down and the technology will improve.
Mrs. DeWitt began to clap.
Great job, you two.
The kids looked at her, confused.
With what?
Becca asked.
With your arguments about renewable energy,
The teacher said.
you each earned an A on tomorrow's debate assignment.
Yes!
Quincy sat back with a grin. But Becca leaned forward.
Who won?
It was a tie.
Mrs. DeWitt said.
You both presented clear opinions and supported them with strong evidence. That's exactly what skilled debaters do.
Just then, the classroom phone buzzed. Mrs. DeWitt picked it up and spoke to the school secretary for a moment.
Quincy, your mom is waiting at the main office.
Great!
He grabbed his things and headed toward the door.
Stay cool.
Becca said.
I will.
Quincy grinned.
At home, we're prepared for blackouts. We have backup solar power.